Good day, everyone. In this video, I'm going to discuss inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning. Now, what is inductive reasoning? Now, it is based from specific statements to arrive at a general conclusion. So, from specific to general. So here, to arrive at a general conclusion, we will be using examples. We can observe patterns, trends, or observations so that we can have what we call the general conclusion or a conjecture. So what is a conjecture? It is an educated or intelligent guess based on several observations which may be true. Now take note here in inductive reasoning, because you are only relying to specific statements to arrive at a general conclusion. Take note, very specific or specific statements from specific statements, and then you observe patterns, trends, or observation, and then you can formulate a general conclusion. So here, the strength of the conclusion is weak. Why? Because your conclusion is based only from specific statements. Hence, in inductive reasoning, the general conclusion may or may not be true. Actually, the conjecture or general conclusion can only be true if we prove it. By the way, here in inductive reasoning, we can think of it as a triangle. As you can see in the figure, from top to bottom, it is smaller to wider surface. That is, just like the concept in inductive reasoning, wherein we are basing it from specific statements here to arrive at a general conclusion. So that's it. Let's consider here some examples. Okay, let's have statement number 1. My past teachers in math are impressive. So this is our first specific statement. And then here for our second statement, my past, or rather, my math teacher of this year is impressive. So you have here two specific statements. So by observation, because your past math teachers were impressive, and then your teacher now is impressive. So you can conclude that all your math teachers are impressive. Now take note here that we are basing here from specific statements. Here, these are all specific statements. And then you concluded here that all math teachers, it means you generalize that all math teachers are impressive. So this is an example of inductive reasoning. Next here is a statement wherein you're going to find the next number in this sequence. So 5, 11, 17, 23, and then you're going to find the number next to 23. Actually, the problem on finding the patterns is one of an example for inductive reasoning. So here we will be observing pattern here. Now, as you can see, the rule is to add 6 on the previous term to get the next number. Here, 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 plus 6 is 17. 17 plus 6 is 23. Now we will be looking at the last or the next number. So you can conclude that the next number is 29. So this is another example of inductive reasoning. We are observing here patterns. Now, you have deductive reasoning. Now, what is deductive reasoning? It is based from general statements to specific conclusion. Now here, from general statements, we use facts, general principles, rules, definitions, or properties to arrive at a specific conclusion. Yeah, here. Now take note that in this type of reasoning, we are basing it from general statements, from a wider scope, and then we just conclude it very specific, or we do have here specific conclusion. So what do you think is the strength of our conclusion? Is it still weak, just like inductive reasoning, or it is now strong? So of course, because you are basing it from general statements, hence our specific conclusion is realistically true. That is, the strength of the conclusion here is strong. Now, you can think of deductive reasoning as inverted triangle. Now, as you can see here in the figure, you have here from wider surface down to smaller surface. So it's just like deductive reasoning wherein you start it from general to specific. Now let's have some examples here. Now for statement number 1, we have all students in this class are watching. That would be general, our first general statement. In the next, say that John is a student of this class. So in that case, from the given two statements here, we can conclude that John is watching now. Okay? So our conclusion is too specific, right? From general statements here. Okay? So that's it. Next is, you have here, all humans have eyes. So clearly, this is a general statement. And then, Kate is human. So here we have two statements. All humans have eyes, and Kate is human. So from the two statements given here, we can conclude that Kate has eyes. So here, because actually Kate is a human, and here all humans have eyes. Therefore, we can say that Kate has eyes. Okay. So that's all about deductive reasoning. Now let us try to compare the two. We have inductive reasoning versus deductive reasoning. Now for inductive reasoning, we are basing it from specific statements. We're down to general conclusion. Whereas for deductive reasoning, we are basing it from general statements down to specific conclusion. So here in inductive reasoning, the general conclusion may or may not be realistically true. Why? Because you're just basing from specific statements and then you arrived at a general conclusion. So it may or may not be realistically true. So the conclusion, the general conclusion is what we call the conjecture. So again, the conjecture can only be true if we prove it to be true. Here, in deductive reasoning, the specific conclusion is realistically true because we are basing it from our general statements, and then we arrive at a specific conclusion. So from general, just have the specific conclusion. So here in inductive reasoning, we can think of a triangle wherein, based from the figure, we can start from specific down to general. Whereas in deductive reasoning, we can think of it as an inverted triangle. So based from the figure, we can have general down to specific. So that's all. I hope you have learned a lot about inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning. So thank you for watching and listening. God bless everyone. Bye.